Wrong thing. Yeah. Alrighty, there we go. Sorry about that. That's a great way to start off a stream. So professional. Alrighty, so now that it seems that, let me cut over here and let me just watch the stream and make sure it is actually rolling. And do the roundabout. Da, 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 da. Let me jump ahead and go. That sucks. Yeah. Second time too. Alright, so I don't want to, I'm sure you guys don't want to watch me watch myself. So I'm going to just put this over here for some monitoring. And let's go ahead, and now that I know that it's working, let me see if I can just do a cut here. There we go. Yeah, so I can cut to the different cameras. That's good. Okay. It's like my old freaking live streaming days all over again. So I'm just going to share out the link to everybody on Facebook. I'll let it fetch a preview here, and once it fetches a preview, I really wish I could have assigned a different photo for that. Let me see if I can change more options, upload a thumbnail. There we go. Okay, so fuck, I need a thumbnail. The thumbnail should be, I don't know, man. I mean, like if I could get another Wirecast shot, if I could do the Wirecast cam, which doesn't fucking work, and it's a shame. Of course Wirecast Go wouldn't work. Wirecast software is so horribly shit, but they're the only ones who are doing it. So if you're out there and you know development work, and you know how to do like real-time video mixing software, fucking compete with Wirecast. If there was a clean version of OBS unfortunately is just too fucking complex to use. Wirecast is simpler, but it's fucking atrociously unstable and unreliable. So yeah. Let me fucking set up a new, let's do this again here. Let me change normal. Let me set it to normal instead of low latency. And let me 192.168.16.116, which is the IP address of my fucking phone. And let's say connect. Yeah, and nothing happens. It's just it's working. I don't know which camera I'm on right now. It's working. But there's no love here. There's no love. So if I switch to this shot, you won't get anything, which really sucks, because let me go ahead and say configure here, configure, and yeah, and the configure button doesn't work. None of this works. It's the right IP address. It's even the IP address that it's even the IP address normal. Does it work any better if I set to normal instead of low latency? Yeah, it's the right IP address and everything, but there's no love. No love. Alrighty. Well, that's a shame, because I wish I could show things to you guys, but I can't. So let me go back to publishing this on Facebook. Oh, I needed to pick a picture. I just realized. Shit. Alrighty. I feel bad for people who are going to be watching this for the first fucking few minutes. So let me do a quick selfie. Alrighty, looks like a picture. And then I'll open up OneDrive. Which is probably a bad idea because it's going to take forever and a day to upload. Roundabout. Oh, that's cool. Oh, they put the Office Lens stuff into OneDrive. Okay. Da 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 da. Oh, okay, cool. Not that many photos. Oh. bit. Okay, well I'm hoping that it just got them. That's great. You know what's really annoying? What's really annoying is how it fucking just gets previews of everything. What is it, 11? It's probably the last photo I took. It's almost guaranteed to be the last photo I took. Because it wasn't the one at midnight, so let's just grab one of those and say open. Just fucking... Yeah, that's fine. Let's just hit save. So then that way the picture gets updated, and then I'll cut this out, and I'll delete this, and then I'll paste this, and actually, oopsie. And then let's hit paste. Okay, and let me just refresh this page. And let me paste. It's going to fetch preview. Oh my lord, are you fucking kidding me? Alright, so I'll just do that and do... Watch me fix a Panasonic projector at 3 a.m. exclamation mark. Post. And I fucking forgot to refresh share attachment. Edit. Let's just drop that out. Are you fucking kidding me here? There we go. That's exactly how I want it. Save. I just don't want the preview. Alrighty, well, you know what? Fuck it. Fucking garbage. Software should not be like this. Right? Fucking developers, take note at this fucking bullshit. Fucking makes me want to rage and murder somebody. Or like a group of somebodies. Like a whole fucking family. I swear I'm not a terrible person. I just act like one. Oh, hey, look, now actual wire shit on my fucking phone has shit the fucking bed. Alrighty, well, let me switch over here. Okay, so, oh, hey, and I'm not on a shitty shot. Okay, let me switch over to this one. Okay, let me cut. Boom. Okay, so, here's the situation. So, I've taken the projection block out of this projector. This is a Panasonic, whatever the fuck that's in the description. Actually, that's a prism, and that's actually really cool. You can't see well in the camera unless I kind of lean it. There's a split down the middle because this is actually from two different sides that you're seeing this image. Three different sides that are combining together and coming in. So if I do that, you can see my finger. You should be able to see a bit of my finger there too. I might have to change the angle and a bit there because it's all three are combining here. So, oh, you know what it is? It's whatever's brightest is what's seen. So anyway, so in a situation where the light's here and I wave my finger and I'm looking through it, I can see my finger, and then if I do this, then I can see my finger, and if I do this, then I can see my finger. Anyways, so it's combining all three light outputs and shine them out. So there's LCD panels. There's an LCD panel here, here, and here. And these were what the ribbon cables are for. They're polarizers on the inside here and here and here. There's 3 for each color channel. And then there are polarizers that are in here that I've taken out already. So let me give you some backstory on this projector. This projector was from where I work. We don't like projectors because they require maintenance. The color accuracy and image quality isn't great in a well-lit environment, so you're always kind of battling. It's just like, shades of gray as opposed to like an actual wide color gamut. They were great at the time because we could get big screens for relatively low cost, but now displays have gotten much better. You can get high quality, large LCD format LCD panels for much less than these projectors. It was like this was a $5,000 projector with a $5,000 lens option. This lens option here, it's a big beefy motherfucker. This is it's a tilt shift short throw lens. This is $5,000 worth of glass. So, you're thinking, okay, well, like, why would they just throw it out? Well, this projector wasn't in good condition. There were blotches all over the image and stains and whatever. We got numerous complaints about it. And sending it for repair, my manager thought it wasn't worth it. I thought it was worth it. He didn't think it was worth it. So it came to, we had a spare projector from a room that we had already converted. It was the same kind of projector as this, and we'd already converted that room to a TV. So we put the projector from there into that room to fix that room while we waited to upgrade or retrofit that room. And this projector had no home, and obviously we couldn't use it because it had blotches. So my manager said, it's junk anyways. We'd had it for 5 or 6 years. There was no value on it. He said, just fucking take it home and do whatever you want with it to it. So what I did is I took it home and I tried to fix the blotches by cleaning it. And I destroyed a $128 polarizer, US. Plus shipping and everything, I think I spent about $200. And then there was something else. Oh yes, the bulb was still good, so we kept that for the spare projector because the company needs it, and they're not going to give me a perfectly good bulb, which is fair. So I had to buy a new bulb, which was another $200. So I sunk about $400 plus shipping and taxes and whatnot into this projector. If you hit up eBay, you can I found actually this exact projector, mind you, not with the short throw lens, with the standard lens, for $600 with 2,000, 3,000 hours on it, and this has a few 100,000 hours. This thing literally has 5 years of pretty much continuous 8 hours a day use on it. So you add that up, it's a lot of hours. Whereas that one was like, it was like 5,000 hours. It's basically the equivalent of about 3 months of usage in our office for $600, right? A $5,000 projector brought down to $600 on eBay. And that was in good condition. Some crazy person was asking for $600 for one that was smashed up, and I initially tried to get that one to use it to salvage it for parts, and the guy was completely unreasonable. The guy who was reasonable with his price, the projector was in perfect condition. I thought someone just tried to open my door. That was really weird, but I think it was Luna playing with something. Fuck, makes your heart race at like fucking almost 4 a.m. now when something weird happens. Anyways, so I didn't want to destroy a perfectly good working projector to use it for spares for this, and the guy wanted way too much for the broken projector. Luna's running around a lot. That's really weird. She's really excited. $600 was way too much for a broken projector. So what did I do? I went to Panasonic and I bought brand new parts. I used a knockoff bulb, which is why I only paid $200 for them, because normally the bulbs are like $400 or $500. So so I got it working. I fixed the polarizer that I damaged, and I was able to find a way with that polarizer that I damaged, which is here, and I've actually kept it to clean the other polarizers. So I discovered it's an organic material. So anytime oil comes, which is why I'm wearing one glove, anytime human oils or fats get in contact with it, it destroys the organic material. What I discovered is clean dish soap, like not like Dawn or whatever, dish soap that doesn't have any sort of, actually maybe Dawn would work, but dish soap that doesn't have any hand lubricant or whatever in it. If you coat it, your fingers coat it completely and coat the polarizer completely, and gently massage with your fingers, and then run it off with hot water, and then shake it off and let it air dry. You have to get all the water off by shaking it off. If you can't get the water, which, it's pretty good because the lens is so smooth, the glass is so smooth that it'll just wick off the moment you just, do a couple of hard flicks to it. So, you can't touch it with anything. Any abrasives, anything will destroy it. I'll show you guys actually. Let me put this baby down. I'll show you guys the polarizer that I destroyed. And I'll tell you why I kept it. Because there are some other polarizers in here. There's 3 in here, and then there's 3 more in here. So there's 6 polarizers in total. I got the service manual, and it tells you. So here's a cool fact, okay? The service manual is proprietary information. It literally shows you the board, every single component, all the traces and everything. If you wanted to, not pirate, but whatever, knock off this projector exactly, the service manual gives you all the information. It's amazing. I'm surprised Panasonic gives the service manual out. They don't actually give the service manual out. They only give it to their technicians. But if you call and ask the right people, we have a Panasonic rep, and I asked the rep, and the rep put us in touch with someone else, and someone else put us in touch with someone else. Eventually I got an engineer, and the engineer gave me the service manual. So just being polite and asking kindly, you can get, you can get a lot of stuff. And while the rep did help out, I'm fairly certain that even if we didn't have a Panasonic rep, they would have given us this information. Which, kudos to you, Panasonic, because that makes me want to buy your shit forever now. And that's from like a work thing or a personal thing, If there's an opportunity to pick a Panasonic thing, we already use a whole bunch of your cameras and shit. If there's an opportunity to use a Panasonic thing, that's amazing service, and gladly would buy it again. So here's the damaged polarizer. Now, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but you see those stains? So it should have that high, like, shiny metal look. And that area in the middle, where you can kind of see through, that's what happened when my finger touched it. And there's one side that's glass, and there's one side that has the coating. That's clean. There's no dirt on that. That's not like dirt or whatever that's on it. Those stains are what happens when finger grease gets on it. So I've since cleaned this using the proper method that I knew doesn't damage it, and I put it in the box that the good polarizer came in and kept it so I can test it. Because today I needed to figure out how to clean more things, and I wanted to do tests on the polarizer to see, because simple water won't work. Simple blowing, which is what the Panasonic manual says, doesn't work. And I'll show you an example here. So there's a red, a green, and a blue side. And it depends on which one you're on, but it seems like the red side has a fair amount of dust between the LCD, and you can see it kind of there. You see that? And it goes onto the panel too. There you go. You can really see it there. Now, remember, this is minuscule amounts of dust, but when you magnify this and multiply this, thousands of times, because you're going from something like this to something that's like, 2-3 meters tall and like 5-6 meters wide, that's going to be huge. That's going to make a huge difference. So any small speck makes a huge difference. The interesting thing is, on the red side, it seems like a lot of dust has built up on the outside of the projection block, on the LCD panel, and on the inside. Actually, it's not necessarily the inside. I'm using the wrong terminology. Panasonic has official, specific terminology for these polarizers for the inside and the outside, whatever. That has special, specific meaning, and it has to do with the light flow and the light path. So I'm speaking very vaguely, but basically, the polarizer on the side right before that goes up to the LCD panel, there was a lot of dust buildup, and the same with the green. The blue seems to be good, but on the green side, there's the light gets split into the 3 colors, and it comes out the 3 different paths. So one green comes this way, red goes this way, and blue goes this way. So on the lens for the green, there's a whole bunch of dirt on the lens on the inside of the lens, right? And then on the red, there was dirt on this side of the lens, right? And then the polarizer was here, and the polarizer was dirty too. And then there's also dirt on the LCD from dust. So I've got to clean that up. I've cleaned the polarizer previously, and I looked at it again. The polarizer's just as clean as it was when I initially did it. There was some dirt on the lens, but it was on this side of the lens, so I don't have to take the whole thing apart. But on the green side, there's dirt on the opposite side of the lens. Now, here's the thing. That's before the lens does all its magnification and bending and whatever to line it up with this block. So I'm hoping that it'll be less noticeable. I definitely didn't see a huge blotch that shape. So I'm going to gamble a little bit. I'm not going to take the whole thing apart because I'd have to take the cover off. I'd have to take the main PCB off. I've got the surface manual to be able to do that, but I don't want to have to do all that. And the blue side seems to be relatively clear, so fucking lucky as shit. So where I am now is I'm trying to figure out if I can mechanically clean with a Q-tip this LCD panel. And the thing is, these LCD panels are non-replaceable. If they get damaged, you have to buy a whole new projection box, and this is a $600 piece. So $600 for a $600 projector that you can buy on eBay. You can still buy these projectors new, but you have to pay the full $5,000, and you've got to get the lens separately and all that. I don't want to do any of that. So I'm just looking through here, and I want to see what it says for the LCD panels and the cleaning of the panels. So I've removed the shutter, I've removed the optical block. Let me do some screen sharing, and I don't feel great about doing screen sharing, and I'll tell you why. The issue is that this is Panasonic's proprietary information, and while they did give it to me freely, I don't want to really spread their information without their permission. They weren't exactly cagey about it, but they also didn't they weren't cagey about it, but you know, it was like password protected and all that shit. So what I'll do is can I do a screen capture? There we go. Screen capture 1. Yeah, monitor on 30 FPS. Show cursor. Yeah, that sounds good. Let's say okay there. So I'll move this out of here. And I'll close some of this down here. So I'll just cut this for a short second. Cleaning this the shutter. So I did a little bit of mechanical cleaning and cleaned a bit of dust off the shutter, but the shutter doesn't matter because it's not actually part of the optical path. It actually blocks the optical path. So let's go back. This baby here, see that? So this here, you see those are the 3 polarizers. You can see the 3 tabs there that you've got to pull out. So those are the it goes out the front. Here, let me cut to this one instead. It goes, you know, light comes in through here, and through here, and then goes out. So these are the out polarizers because they're on the outside of the light path leaving the projector. The other polarizers inside are the in-path polarizers. One's polarized like this, and the other one's polarized like this, or maybe at an angle. I don't really know. But you actually have to adjust these tabs. You can bend them around. I don't know if you guys can't really see, but you just kind of move them back and forth to align them, and I've got to actually do that before I can You know what I'm realizing is every time I cut to the screen view, you guys are losing audio, and I forgot that Wirecast does that. So I've got to do that. So, okay, so what I was saying, what I was talking about was the light path and whatever. You know, I probably should watch to see what people are saying. No, it don't matter. I've screwed up already, so there's nothing I can do about it now. But basically, the long and short of it is that what I was talking about was that the manual is very in depth, and it shows like everything like connection diagrams, parts, PCB layouts, the whole shebang. So it's a pretty in depth manual. But anyways, so the thing I was talking about was the light path and how it flows in, and I was saying that the LCD is dirty on the red side, and I've got to figure out a way to clean it. So I'm going to look real quick through the service manual and see if I can find some specs. So I'll let you guys watch with me as I quickly look through the service manual. So let me just Control F, and I want to look for LCD. Actually, projection block, projection, T-I-O-N block. Projection block. No, okay, hold on, let's go back up. Is there really projection block? Block? It's definitely called a block. Da 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 da. Okay, here we go. We're on the right path. So yeah, so this is what I had to do. This is where I went. Blah blah blah. Oh, they're in the wrong area again here. Roundabout. Assembly. Okay, so yeah, so I took all these parts out, blah, 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 blah. I actually skipped some of these pieces. I'm not going to remove the top part. I'm not going to take that out. Yeah, but this is what I would have to take out, this assembly, this lighting case, and all that. That would all have to come out for me to clean it properly. So the thing I was saying that when my audio wasn't working and I didn't realize was that there's dust on the inside of the lens here, where the projection block goes. But I think it'll be fine because it's pre the light bending, not post the light bending, so it's not like rectilinear, I guess. It's not, you know. So anyway, so optical parts disassembly, lamp cover prism, optical block. That's where we're at. This is the optical block. Yeah, so it's the lens here on this side, coming down, I guess, on this chart. It's on the upper side of the lens that's dirty, not on the inner side. The polarizer here was dirty. The polarizer on the left here, the red polarizer was dirty. The lens of the red polarizer, but on the inside, on this side, was dirty, and the LCD panel is dirty. So LCD parts for this model cannot be replaced. Do not disassemble the optical block. These LCD panels are installed in Precision Factory. When replacing LCD panels, you should replace the whole prism assembly at once. That's a $600 piece, so that's not happening. I can't do that. Handling of inorganic polarizers, yeah. So I was saying that I think they have these backwards. I think the incoming side and the outgoing side are swapped, because from what I can see, it seems like the aluminum thing that they're spraying is on the opposite of what they're talking about. So I think they have that backwards, but I might be wrong. So I can't really find anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to take the risk, and I'm going to mechanically clean the LCD panel and hope that we're okay. I've tried hitting it with the blower, and it will not work. So let me see. Very, very delicate cleaning here. So we'll see. We'll see if that caused any damage or anything. I don't think so. It looks pretty clean. So I guess this has to go back in. You know, the thing is, I wish I had checked to see which channel was screwed up. Let me just cut to this camera here. I wish I had checked to see which channel was screwed up, because the thing is that there's red, green, and blue. So if you have junk on one channel, it'll show up as a yellow stain. It'll show up as one of the secondary colors, right? Because you've got red, green, and blue. So it'll show up as a cyan or a magenta or a yellow stain. So I was getting yellow staining, and I suspect it was because it was the red polarizer or the red side. But it could be, so let's see. Red and green make yellow. So yeah, so it would have either been the red side or the green side. If it was turning yellow, that probably means it was the green side. So this is the, yeah. So you know what? I don't think this will fix it, because I actually think it is that lens, because that lens is really, really filthy. But it was also on the side, and I did see that. I don't know, to be honest, because part of the dust that I was seeing is definitely in the area where the red LCD is. And I'm looking to see if I can see more dust on this thing. And I wonder how much of the dust has gotten inside things. So you know what I'll do, actually? Let me take this polarizer out. Let me see if I can swab the inside of the panel. Some Panasonic tech is watching this and saying you're an idiot. But here's the thing. Your service manual says only use air dusters. But it doesn't actually work, because it's so fine. It's such fine dust that it doesn't. So this is the polarizer. And actually, oh, that polarizer is dusty. Okay, so I can't touch it. So, okay. So it says that... Let's go and read what it says about the polarizer here. So it says the evaporated side is on the light. Yeah, you know what? No, that's correct. That's correct. Yeah, okay. But it says, here's the thing. It says, okay. So let me show you this, okay? So it says the evaporated side is on the light outside, which is correct. I can see that on the polarizer. But here it says on the outgoing side that wipe cleaning is okay. On the incoming side it says not good. But I'm pretty sure this is, which block is this? This is the red block. Oh, the red one's the only one that's okay on both sides. Interesting. Yeah, that's right. The red block is very unique, actually. I do remember that. There's not enough dust on here. Fuck. This is the thing, because each of these polarizers are $128 plus tax and shipping, and it's US dollars. And I'm like holding this up, and I'm seeing dust. It says wipe cleaning is okay. Alrighty. So I'm going to set the polarizer down. I'm going to pick up the projection block. I'm going to try to clean between the LCD. Oh shit, I don't know if the coating of the prism can get damaged. This is the thing that it makes it really difficult to know what to do. And the service manual only has so much information because they're not expecting some of the things that, you know, people would do. And I'm hoping I don't do anything fatal. But we'll see. Alrighty. That would suck because I've kind of gotten used to having this thing in my room. Which I've got it set up. With a mirror pointing to my ceiling, which seems ridiculous until you realize that I've got a 2-meter tall TV. It's actually more than 2 meters from bottom to top. It's taller than I am. It's probably 2.5 meters, and then wide is like literally the width of my room, so it's huge. So that's the red side. Let me look at the blue or the green side here. I think the green side was fine. The red side seems to be the filthiest. And the thing is, if Wirecast's stupid camera shit was working, I'd show you, but I can't. So you can see that this polarizer is vastly different from the other ones. Oops. And it has, so let's see, so it says, so this is the green one. So on the outgoing side it says it's okay to rub, and on the incoming side it says it's not. Incoming. Hold on, let me look at this thing here. Yeah. Oh, maybe that's correct. Yeah, maybe that's correct. It's really hard to tell because it has this like bluish hinge here. I don't know if you can see. Why is it so stuttery? It's like da 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 da. I wonder if that's actually. Oh, that one camera is just really stuttery. Oh no, there we go. Now it's normal again. So I wonder if it's. I wonder if it's got that like bluish tint to it. Whereas this one has a very shiny silver. So I wonder. I don't know. I don't want to risk it. I know I can use my water trick with soap. If it comes down to it, but it looks fine. And a big part of doing repairs like this is, as tempting as it is to want to be thorough, you shouldn't be thorough. You should do just what's needed. So the moment you're thorough, you fuck it up. Because you take it to an extent that's not necessary. And actually, what I just did is I just scraped the polarizer. So there's going to be damage to it. And I'll show you guys that. It's too small to see, but there's a little. Oh yeah, you can kind of see it. You see those two little dots there? Just at the top of where the reflection is there. It's touching it now. Those two little dots are scratches that I just put in there. Now, why I'm not upset about it is because the actual image just goes in like a quarter of the middle, so it's okay. But had I wiggled my hand too much, that would have been actual damage to the area where the picture goes through. So things to keep in mind. So again, you don't want to be thorough. You want to be careful, but don't get crazy and be like, oh, I need to clean every inch of this. Because if you do, you're going to fuck it up. So I don't really want to take this thing apart again. So there's a little bit of temptation to try to be overly thorough because I don't want to get dirty again and have it clean it again. When you're overly thorough, you fuck shit up. So I was cleaning the filter out. Turns out you're not supposed to physically rub this filter. And I rubbed it with my finger. And what I did is I took a little bit of a layer of something that I think is supposed to keep things clean, catch more dust and whatnot off. And I feel kind of dumb, but I had, the whole time I wasn't sure if it was supposed to be there or if it was gunk that had built up. Now I'm pretty sure that it's gunk that had built up. So, it's a $120 filter. Everything's $120 for Panasonic except for this projection block, which is $600 motherfucking dollars. Which, when you consider a $5,000 projector, is actually not bad, but when you consider that the resale value on eBay, because they're an older discontinued projector now, is $600, then it's like, why am I spending that kind of money? So there's a little bit of dust on this one. You can see it there on this side. You see, and actually there too. It's like a little it's like a little swoop. And I'm not going to bother cleaning that. What side is this? This is the blue side. Red and green is yellow. So if I was missing blue, it would make a yellow tint. But this is along the bottom and not along the edge. And the area where I'm having the color is along the edge, the yellow stain. And you have to reverse it too, because the way the projector does it, it's a mirror image, right? It's a flipped, inverted image, I should say. Now that's not enough to get in the actual viewable area, so I'm going to leave that be. But I'll tell you what I will do is take a look at the LCD panel side of this thing. So cover your ears, guys, because I'm gonna blow this thing, and it's gonna make a lot of noise. So. Alrighty. Okay. So with all that done, here's wishing for more wishes. Okay. I have to be mindful of where I'm putting my finger. I just realized I'm holding it with my non-gloved hand, which is okay as long as I don't touch anything. Okay. So unfortunately, I can't really follow the chat. I don't know if there's anyone actually watching it. 4 a.m. But put that bad boy in there. I'm really torn. There didn't seem to be much dust on the blue side, but I can't ignore the dirt and stuff that I remember seeing. I'm going to put the projection block back in. I'm going to put it back together. and kind of wish for more wishes. It also says use a hex 2, and it says a hex 2.5 for the screws in here, hex 2 for the shutter, and a hex 2.5 for the screws that are in here. But it's actually a hex 2 for both. So I don't know why they got it wrong, but there's definitely some stuff where one hand was not talking to the other at Panasonic. And that's normal. That's very typical. You do have to use a little bit of like objective kind of thinking and some double guessing, but you have to use it sparingly, because here's the catch. You can't just assume something that doesn't make sense is a mistake, because odds are it's not a mistake. You're just misunderstanding the situation, and by assuming it's a mistake, you're going to fuck something up and break it. Where's my other screwdriver? Another screwdriver that I use. Oh, here it is. I need to use this to get the front screw. And I need to put the bit in by hand like that, because it doesn't have the locking thing. It doesn't have the locking bearing that this screwdriver uses. Actually, let me use my gloved hand so I don't get oils on it. Okay. So yeah, so you can't just assume, oh, Panasonic screwed it up or whatever when you're doing these kind of repairs, but there will be mistakes. And when you're in charge of documenting something that literally has millions and millions and millions of parts, there are going to be mistakes. There are going to be revisions that were made that don't get documented or get skipped or forgotten or whatnot. So you do have to use a little bit of your logical thinking to figure things out. But at the same time, you really have to bias yourself towards being wrong and the manual being right. Because if you fuck up, it costs hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So it's an interesting, delicate balancing act. So I'm going to reconnect the ribbon cables here. And the ribbon cables are interesting because you put them in and you've got to kind of gently rock them. And obviously you don't want to damage the ribbon cables, and then you've got to put the locking lever down. So, and you don't want to get your finger oils on the ribbon cables either, because it gets in the way of the electrical connection. So don't touch the contacts with your finger. I'm using my ungloved hand, but that's because I'm handling the edges of the ribbon connector. It's a shame that the Wirecast Go app doesn't actually work. It's more like a Wirecast Go Fuck Yourself app. Now, one thing you'll notice, sorry, when you usually I make more jokes than this, like the Go Fuck Yourself joke, but when you're doing ribbon cables, just put them into the connector, and then just wiggle them by the sides, just rock them kind of like, and you'll notice that it'll slowly ease in until most of the gold connector disappears. Sometimes most, if not all, but sometimes not all of it. But you'll notice you'll get to a point where rocking it back and forth, it feels like, because effectively what you're doing is it's a piece of paper and you're bumping it up against the edge. So when you're wiggling it like this, right, you're helping it get closer. But after a certain point, you can't push it in one side without taking out the other, and you can't push it in the other side without taking out the opposite. That's how you know that it's bottomed out. So I'm going to take this, and again, I wish I had the Wirecast Go Fuck Yourself app. I do have the Wirecast Go Fuck Yourself app, but it's telling me to go fuck myself and it's not working. Wirecast fucking sucks. So I can't quite get the friction on my fingers here to ease this guy in. So I'm going to use my gloved hand. Just a little more friction. There we go. And put the locking lever down and put even force on the locking levers. Very gentle, mostly downward, not over, because you'll pop the locking lever out, and getting them back in is a pain because there are these fingers that go between the pins, and they have to mesh up perfectly, and it's next to impossible to get them in without damaging the pins, damaging the fingers, or the locking lever. So it's a pain. You can do it. Takes a microscope, a pair of tweezers, a steady hand, many hours, lots of sweating, lots of cursing. But at Apple, for example, a lot of times we just replace the board when one of those locking levers broke. Under warranty, ideally. If it wasn't under warranty, when I was at a third-party reseller, we either bit the bullet and paid for the board replacement ourselves, or we spent the time to fucking fix it, because if you're going to break something, you better fix it yourself, because we can't just leave it broken and give it to a customer. Shitty repair places would just tape it down and give it back to the customer. Apple would just charge the customer for a replacement board and say their board was bad. Fucking shitty as shit. Good third-party service providers either tried to fix the locking lever or bit the bullet and replaced the board. But either way, that's all back together. So, where are we at now? We've put it back together. We've reassembled it. I'm going to hit it with some air. So, pardon me again, guys. And now with all that done, it's a matter of testing. So I'll slide the bulb cover off here so I can fit this cover. So the projector will not turn on with the bulb cover off because the bulb can explode and impale you with glass. So the bulb cover has to be on, but you can leave this cover open and it won't care. But there's ultraviolet light that comes out because there's this before all the filters and everything. So it's something you have to be careful about. You can't look directly into it. You shouldn't look at it for very long. But you also need to use this to calibrate it. So let me put the shutter module back in. So shutter module. There's a little bit of a... There should be a bit of a click. Just go around here. I'm pretty sure anyways. I definitely recall feeling like a detent. So I'm kind of worried about it, but I'm not feeling it again. Round about. Yeah, it's definitely not bottoming out like it should. So let me just take this out and let's see why. So, don't force things. Take your time. Don't touch things either. It's very tempting to reach in and grab things, but it can be a fatal mistake. So you know what? I'm thinking that it's supposed to be loose. I'm thinking that the screw going down bolts it in place. So I'm going to stop messing with it and just screw it down. I'm going to screw it down gently at first, and we'll see how it snugs up. And if it seems to be stable, then I'll call it. Yeah. Yeah. So it seems like it's just kind of held in place there by the screw. Because it doesn't seem to flop around or anything. It's pretty well locked in. Okay. And I'm just going to plug the connector, the data connector, for the shutter module back in. The shutter it's literally a shutter. It goes close light, stop light, but it also puts the bulb in a low power mode, but keeps the bulb on. The reason is so you don't cycle the bulb on and off if it's a short period of time where you want the projector off. So that's the point of those shutter modules. So when you see someone turn projector off because they need to do something else for 5 minutes, it's really bad for the projector. Loud noise again, guys, just as a warning. Okay. So what's it called? Lens goes in, red dot lines up, rotate, nice little click. Let me get all these bolts, these screw heads off here. And now I need a power cable. I'm probably going to blow a circuit. Be right back. So, what I need to do now is, because I took all the polarizers and everything out, the alignment of the polarizers are all off. And what will happen is the colors won't mix properly. So I need to turn the projector on, and I need to go through its test patterns and get the colors right. So I'm going to grab its remote. This glove I can throw out because I'm not going to be touching any of the optical components anymore. And I need to also look up, I'm just going to point it at the wall. The color calibration is more of a, this is a pink wall. It's a weird, like it'll get more and more and more intense and it'll peak, and then the intensity will drop off as you pass it. So really what you do is you just kind of adjust them until you get them each to that most intense point, and you lock it in at that point. So the fact that the wall is colored is actually not that much of a problem. But I do need to go to the service manual and look up the service code. Service password 1565. So let's turn this baby on, and we've got our green light. So, oh, we heard a relay click. Fans are blowing. Good, good, good. Do I have illumination yet? I do. I see red, green, and blue lights. There are 4 lights, he says, holding up 3 fingers. So we're going to have the focus and everything's going to be off, obviously. I can hear the... Oh! Oh. That's a really shitty feeling. If anyone else sees it, there's banding in the what I presume is the blue. Okay, so let's see if it's on multiple colors or if it's just on blue. That sucks. I'm actually not happy about that. Let's pull up the menu. And what do I need to do here? Hopefully it's just a poor connection and not that the actual ribbon cable is damaged. This projector has a service mode. In the menu, select sub-menu service. Press the menu button. Select sub-menu service. This projector setup. Service password. It's 15651565. Enter. Service mode. So the image is skewed because I have it set up for my bedroom. Let me go to menu. And let me go to test pattern. So let me go to menu and projector setup. Actually, hold on. Let me go to projector setup. I'll change it from ceiling rear. Let's say front floor. And I'm going to go to position and where's picture, I guess? Where's the corner correction? Oh, this isn't a good feeling, guys. I gotta say, I'm really upset about that. It looks like it's just the blue. Input, schedule, where is... user data, security password, position, mask screen, why is it mask screen closed off? Shoot, zoom. Oh, corner correction, there we go. So, let me just take pictures of these here. So it's 142, 142, 182, 182. Okay, so this way I'll be able to return it back to what it was set to because it took a lot of effort. Oops. Position, keystone. Okay, this is coming down. This is getting in my nerves. And my patience is very thin right now because I'm not particularly happy. It might be fixable. It might be fixable. There's a very good chance. There is a very good chance that it's just a poor contact. But there's also an equally good chance that it's a damaged ribbon cable. And if it's a damaged ribbon cable, we read what the manual said about replacing LCD panels. That's a new projection block, and that's $600 part. So, and I'm not going to spend $600 on a $600 projector. So, you know, my boss was right. The one thing I was saying is that he was right that he was right in saying that it wasn't worth trying to fix. Because I've put probably about 6 hours previously into fixing this. And this is another, what, we're coming up on 3 hours? 2 hours? 3 hours. So I started this before on the stream. So, no, you know what? It was probably 3 hours before too. So probably 6 hours total. So what I want to do now is, it's still in 16:9 mode. So I'm going to try to change it to 1080p. Sorry, 16:10, because it's actually 16:10 display. And now we can see the full glory of the mess. Well, you guys can't see the full glory, but so what I need to do now is go into the menu and go into projector setup. No. Go into display options. Test pattern. And change. So what I'll do is, let me just finish the calibration, and then we'll go from there. So a good way to do it is to pull up a, so here's the thing. So let's look at the colors here. So blue has bars, green does not have bars. Green has some bars, but that's probably because of the calibration. Red has some bars, but that's probably because of the calibration. Here's black. So what I'm going to do is, you just, okay, you see how, I don't know if you guys can see how it's getting lighter. So you just make it so it's the darkest point. I previously said the lightest point, but that's actually incorrect. Hey Siri, turn off my office lights.
Done.
And I'm going to unplug this guy here too, because I need minimum lights. Hey Siri, turn off all my office lights. Whatever, just fuck off, you piece of garbage. Fucking Siri, man. Okay, so you can see this is the green one that I'm adjusting. So there's a green tint, and then as I, bring it over, it gets darker. The green tint goes to the minimum, and then it gets brighter again. So it's just a matter of trying to get it the darkest, and then you move over to the blue one, and you do the same thing for the blue one. And then the red one, and then you try to do the same thing for the red one. So there's the darkest, and then now we do the red one. And then now that we've done that one, we do the green one again. And then we do the blue again. The goal is to try to get it as dark as possible. Because then it's blocking out all the light evenly. So there's no red tint, there's no green tint. So let me see if I... Ooh. Oh no. That's really shitty, guys. I think it's actually the ribbon cable. Okay, so let me go ahead and actually let's see here. I'm curious if alrighty. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to power it off. And we'll let it do its cool down. And then once its cool down is done, I'm going to stop holding on this fucking pole. Actually, I can put it back on that stupid hook. Hey, never mind, I'm not going to ask Siri because Siri's a piece of shit. Fucking garbage. Hopefully, hopefully it's just dirty. Yeah, that sucks. And that's the thing, it's always a risk when you do these kind of repairs. It's always a risk because everything's very delicate, everything's very fragile, and you can't be, in some cases, super delicate with it. The prescribed method is to use compressed air. So maybe not letting the ribbon cables flap around so much might have been a good idea. But I don't really know how to do that while holding the projection block in a way that, you know, it doesn't get damaged and I don't get my finger oils on it. So here's hoping. We'll see. Maybe I'll reseat it and it'll be good. Okay, fan just shut off. So turn main power off. Hit the power button to let it clear out. And gentle on that. And let's take the ribbon cable out. Should actually go with my mouth. I'm gonna put this light back on because I need more light to work. That sucks. That sucks a lot. But it happens. That's the reality of trying to do repairs. And, you know, I was looking forward to do this job for a while. You know, the interesting thing is, I don't know, they're all a little bit off. I don't know. I really don't know. Okay, well, instead of assuming I broke something, let me just assume positive that that's just a bad connection. Because if I assume I broke something, I'm going to be rougher with it, or I'm going to try things that I wouldn't normally try in an effort to salvage the situation, like riskier things. So I don't want to do that, because I don't actually know that I've damaged it yet, as although that, you know, is probably pretty likely, realistically. So let me just work it back in and out here. Let's put the locking lever back down. Power back on. Hit the power button. Let's look for some illumination. Oh, the red light's still on. Hold on. There we go, green light. We'll see. We'll see. Let's turn the room light off here. Let's do that. Alrighty. I don't think it's going to work. I think I damaged the ribbon cable. Yeah, I can see the strips already. Well, that went from fun to depressing really quick. So you know what? I'm not actually convinced. That's not good. That's too bright. Let's power this off. I'm not actually convinced that I'm not actually convinced of this. The ribbon cable is damaged. I'm not actually convinced. I'm a little bit more hopeful because I wiggled it there and I didn't get it to flicker again. And I did get it to flicker before, and now it's seated differently. So I think if it was actually the ribbon cable, it's still powered up, unfortunately, so I shouldn't really be doing this, but I wonder if maybe I just got dust inside the connector. So let's just reseat it a couple of times. And wish for luck, you know? Use my phone as a flashlight here. It's also possible as electrostatic discharge, but let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. The irony is, the stains are gone. Stains are gone. They're stripes instead. So, worse. But, yeah, no, still stripes. I'm going to try to do it with it on. I want to see if. You know what it might be? I'm getting more and more convinced by the second that it might just be dirt inside the connector. So, with that in mind, I think if I can find a piece of paper, I should gently slide in there and see if I can clean out some of those pins. It's of course entirely possible that that's not the case, and also still pretty likely, but why bet against yourself, right? Where can I get a thin piece of paper? No, I don't want to tear this up. Alright. I'll be right back. Just gonna get some paper. I do not. I do not. You're a silly kitty. So what I'm trying to do is I'm inserting this piece of paper into the connector and just gently sliding it down, trying to just kind of clean the connections, hoping that's just dirt or something. I'm also just going to really quickly inspect the gold contacts, but I don't think the contacts seem fine. So. Alrighty. If this one doesn't work, I'm going to assume that I damaged the panel, the connection where the ribbon cable meets with the panel. When blowing it out, had hoped that Panasonic would have designed it to be sandwiched in something. The way these ribbon cables work is they effectively kind of get glued to electrodes on the panel glass. Not electrodes, can't remember what the name of it is. I'm not even going to look. You have these fine wires running through the glass, and they get glued to it, and with a conductive glue. Yeah, no, it's still there. So realistically, what probably happened is it came delaminated from me blowing on it, which is really unfortunate. I don't know, guys. I really don't know. This was the last thing on my mind as far as a list of possible things that could have happened, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't expect that. I did not expect that. I'm just gonna power it off. I'm not gonna let it do its full shutdown process here. Yeah. That sucks a lot. I really liked having this projector. The quality issue with the image was getting annoying, but it wasn't unusable. I just didn't anticipate this happening. I'll take the projection block out and I'll see if there's something obvious and potentially fixable, but I doubt it. Those ribbon cables get laminated to the glass. I can't remember what the name of there's a name for a fine wire that runs through glass, like the kind that's in the heating elements in your car. Those have a name, and it's the same idea as what's in LCD panels, except they're finer and they're not actually invisible. They're just more subtle. There's a name for it, and I can't remember what the name is right now. But yeah, yeah. I keep wanting to say electrode, but it's not electrode. But that's the, like I said, they're practically glued together, and they're very fragile, and they come apart very easily. If you've ever taken apart a calculator, you know the feeling. For the LCD, one of those cheapo calculators. It's the same idea, except the wires are much finer. So I'm going to see if maybe there's something obvious, just to know definitively if it's an issue on the board side or the panel side. Because at this point also, paying $600 for a projection block, aside from the fact that it's not worth it from the perspective of buying a $600 used one with less hours on eBay, it's also not worth it from the perspective of oh yeah, no, it is actually damaged here. It's actually ripped off. Yeah, it's actually ripped off. Okay, well that's pretty definitive. At some point I managed to rip off the ribbon cable. That sucks. So let's see if I can get ingenuitive. I don't know. Can I press something in there to hold it? Because it just needs to make contact. Fuck, man. It sucks. It's never a good feeling, right? And the thing is, you only know what you know. Honestly, I wouldn't have expected that. Considering the actual service manual says you can blow it out, I honestly would have expected to be a little more resilient than that. But I also understand that that's not standard fare. So I was giving a bit too much credit to Panasonic. That's not to say that Panasonic doesn't deserve credit or this is somehow Panasonic's fault, because it's not. But I had kind of hoped that if the service manual says blow it out with compressed air, that they would have accounted for it a bit more. Let me see if there's a thing to rebond. There's a process to rebond ribbon cables to PCB. Rebonding ribbon cable to LCD panel. Oops. Flat flex LCD repair with AFC tape. Let's see what we see here, guys. Ironically, I'm hitting YouTube. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, bonding machine, hot bar. So they actually hit it with This video has 10,000 views and 0 comments. Not much volume on it either. I guess they're not really talking. Let me show you guys my screen just so you guys can see what I'm watching here. So AFC tape and bonding machines. Okay, so oh geez, they're not fucking around. They actually have a proper machine for this that presses it. There's the panel. That is a hot bar. Is that glowing freaking red? And they have a microscope to line it up. Of course, you'd have to. You'd absolutely have to. Our videos, all sorts of corrupted. Huh. Okay. I don't have that kind of equipment. So that's out. That sucks, man. It really, really fucking sucks.
Hello again. I got this little device called an in-store commercial from a store that was gonna chuck it, and it's kind of sad because what this is a little device that plays a video that's stored on an SD card, which is inserted right there.
Yep. I don't have 22 minutes to watch talk.
There's 8 here, and then there's another 8 here. So
I know this is coming from someone who's streaming right for now, hour 2 or something right now.
Pretty much almost as wide as each one of those traces on the flat flex. So I'm gonna clean this up with alcohol really well. And then I'm going to stick that ribbon here. I think that should be just about the right height to kind of keep this level so I don't accidentally like shear it off or anything. Doesn't need
beat you to that, bud. Don't worry.
And I'll come with a really fine tip on right there.
Oh wow!
It pulled. And just
that's next level shit. That's beyond my capabilities. So it's kind of like this. This isn't the same kind of ribbon cable. I also don't have as much room as these guys have to work with either. And this is a low resolution LCD panel. This is a very high resolution LCD panel because it's the size of a postage stamp, if not smaller, but it's more than 720p, right? So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Q-tip stem that I was doing and some pieces of paper on top, and hopefully that'll act as that'll apply enough pressure to it to kind of keep the contact there. So let me show you guys what I'm doing here. Let me switch over. Oh man, this is not good. This is not a good night. I honestly didn't think I was going to break this. I didn't think I was going to make it worse. I thought it was easily just going to get better. So I remember what I said about, you know, being delicate and you don't want to get overconfident and whatever. That's what happens. And it's not even in a way like you don't anticipate it. I honestly didn't think I would damage this ribbon cable. Of all the things I thought I was going to damage, I thought I was going to damage the LCD, the actual LCD. I thought I was going to damage the polarizers. I thought I was going to damage the lenses. I thought I was going to damage all these things. I did not think I was going to damage this ribbon cable. Because I knew how delicate ribbon cables are. I've damaged ribbon cables before, and it wasn't even on my radar. It wasn't even on my radar, and that's what happens. So, we've got my little piece of Q-tip stem that I broke off, and a sheet of paper. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shove it between the metal frame and the LCD ribbon and press it in and use it as something to apply some pressure. I do expect this to work. I don't think it's not going to work, but it will also be problematic going to the future. This isn't going to last. It'll have problems again. But it'll get me up and going. And literally this projector was flawless. After I replaced that polarizer, like I said, I've spent $300 on it, right? So after replacing that polarizer, it was flawless aside from being dirty. And, not to be self-congratulatory or anything, I did do my best, and I did try to be as careful as I could be. Benefit of hindsight is always something, but I also did try Panasonic's recommended method of simply using compressed air instead of mechanical abrasion to clean it, and it did not work because it was very fine dust. And when you have airflow over a surface, there's actually a very small layer, and I can't remember the name of the term, but there's actually a very small layer of, so if you've got this surface and you're blowing air over it, there's a very small layer, even if it's a perfectly smooth surface, where the air doesn't actually flow, where the air is actually still. So if you have air blowing over something, dust will collect over the surface, and that's what the case was. And no matter how hard you blow on it, you won't be able to blow the dust off the surface, because it's kind of fitting into the little mini craters and things like that on the surface, the imperfections of the surface. Actually, that might not even be the case. It's an aerodynamics thing. My uncle would be able to explain it, but it's not as simple. Like, you need to physically clean. So, and I knew this. I know this, and which is why I went this way. And I did try. I gave it the old college try to do it the way Panasonic recommended. And ironically, I think that was the part that caused the damage. Again, not trying to throw shade at Panasonic. This doesn't change what I said earlier about me being a lifelong Panasonic customer because of how good they were for giving me a service manual and all that. It doesn't change that. But it's like what I said earlier about the service manuals not being perfect, because they do revisions. They do their suggested best practices don't always work because they were written in a lab and it's a very dynamic situation. So service manuals, and then manufacturing gets revised over time too. So it's not always up to date. Alrighty. I've got my 3 LCD panels reconnected and put my shutter block back in. Oh, I can't put my shutter block back in yet because I didn't do the front screw of the optical block. I didn't do the front screw of the optical block. There's the front screw. Verify the back screws. I only did one screw. That's how distraught I was. It's been a rough day. For other reasons I'm not going to go into, but it's just something I really badly wanted to do earlier today, and I didn't end up doing it. For the reasons that made it a rough day. And it is what it is. You can't win them all, right? Like I said, I do expect this to work, but it's not... The projector's broken. It's like that supposed old trick, and I don't know if it's actually a real trick if it works, but the idea of putting sawdust in a transmission, an automatic transmission, to quiet the gears. It's from Matilda. I don't know if that's actually a thing. And to make it a gauge and not slip. I don't know if that's really a thing or not, but sure, it might work. But it'll only be temporary. And even if it works for the long term, it's still not real, you know? I do expect this to work. We'll see. If it doesn't, that'll be an extra kick in the balls. But I will need to recalibrate everything again, though. Yeah, hey, there's that extra kick in the balls. There it is. Fuck, man. Oof, that's bright. On the plus side, I don't need to select a special color to calibrate the Alrighty. Well, that's what not to do. Let's go to the menu. Projector setup. Service password, what was it, 15? $15.65. Which gives me the extra test patterns. This is the so that's the black that you're supposed to calibrate the polarizers based on. So you can see, I don't know if you guys can see, but more red. And then as I get it dead centered, you get the minimal amount of red. And then green, more green, minimal amount of green, more blue, Get more blue there. That seems to be minimal. 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 And there we are. We're calibrated. We are calibrated. I really should have looked into this because there is ultraviolet light shining at a very high brightness. There you go, guys. There's cleaning a projector and breaking it at the same time. So let's see. I mean, we might as well check to see, make the best out of a shitty situation here. So ignoring the stripes, red, green, and blue doesn't seem to have much blotchiness. I don't know which fucking colors these are supposed to be. Okay. I guess this is turquoise. I guess this is magenta. This is yellow. White. Black. So RGB colors. And actually, I mean, you guys can't see because you guys haven't seen them before, but this is actually very even. So I did fix the original problem, all the while causing a second one. But it is what it is. Well, I'll buy the other projector from work when they decommission that room, I guess. If no one else wants to lay claim to it. I'll put an eBay search for a broken one of these. That sucks, man. I use this pretty much every night before going to bed. Which is part of why I wanted to fix it. Because I was unhappy with the dirt in the picture. It's preferable to what I have now. But, yeah. Can't win them all. I fixed plenty of things. And this time, a fix isn't in sight, unfortunately. That's not true. I mean, I could fix it, but it would be $600 plus the $400 that I've spent already. So then the question becomes, do I want to spend that kind of money on a projector with this many hours on it? And realistically, the answer to that is no. Because it's not worth it. So... And that's really what it was about, I guess. I think, you know what, I think that's the thing that bums me the most, is there's no fixing this projector in a way that's worthwhile. And that was a lot about what this projector, what fixing this projector was about, was kind of like salvaging waste. You know, not sending just something to a landfill, you know what I mean? That was kind of an important piece for me. So, main power off. Let it drain here. So yeah. That's too bad. I mean, not that I have any viewership, but if I did, I probably would have dropped off right when I fucking broke the goddamn thing. I can pay to fix it. I can pay to fix it. It's just not worth it to fix it. That's the thing. This is the dilemma. It's not that it's unfixable. It's that it's not worth fixing. And it was about trying to salvage. But maybe, you know, maybe I need to just see if I can fix the projection block. Oh, it's still getting caught in the front. The non-repairable optical block. Oh, I'm touching it now. I got my fingerprint oils on it, and it stained immediately. That's pretty funny. You know what? Let's go for broke. Let's take it apart. I can't break it any more than it being broken. Not J's. I need. I'm guessing it's a Phillips 0. It looks like. No, that's camming out too easily. So it might be A00, or maybe even a triple. But right now that feels like a double. Wow, that is snugly screwed in there. They do say that these panels are very precisely mounted and they are not serviceable and not to remove them. Oh! Got it. My luck might be changing. What did I do with my screwdriver over here? Roundabout. Let me get my desk light going again. It's interesting they say don't remove it. That's interesting because it doesn't seem that special as far as the mounting is concerned. Let's go back to the table of contents here. Disassembly, optical parts disassembly. So hold on, let me just cut to. So it says, important notice: LCD panels used for this model cannot be replaced separately. Do not disassemble the optical block. These LCD panels are installed with precision at the factory. When replacing an LCD panel, it should replace. When replacing the LCD panel should be replaced whole of the LCD panel and prism assembly once. When replacing optical block, take the optical and electrical adjustments. Follow chapter adjustments. So it's interesting that it says that, but these aren't. Let me just cut over here. The screw holes don't have any adjustment in them. So I'm surprised that they say that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised that this assembly can't come apart, or shouldn't come apart. But the rest of it, I'll be honest, does kind of surprise me. Now, it's not going to stop me because I'm fucked already. But, oh yeah, so it's gooped in place there. So that's probably what they mean. And oh yeah, it's straight up torn. I don't know if you can see that, but that whole section is torn. You know, funnily enough, I think it actually wasn't making contact when I shoved this thing in there. I'm going to try again. There's, at this point, I can't possibly make this part of it worse. I mean, I guess I could lose the blue channel altogether, but this isn't usable the way it is, so. Beautiful precision made equipment, I have to say. It is amazing what can be done nowadays. So let me take this out. I'm going to put this in here instead. I'm going to use you know what? I think I need to take this a different approach. What I'm going to do is do one longer strip. And just fold it over a shit ton of times here. Actually, you know what? No, having seen that, maybe I put this tray back on, this bracket back on. Which I see now is purely for protection. I don't know how to wedge something in there. So the catch is it's very close to the edge where the LCD, the ribbon cable, and the LCD glass, the upper glass meet. So with the piece of Q-tip, because it's rounded, it actually doesn't apply enough pressure near the bottom, which is where it needs it. So what I'm hoping is with a piece of paper, that'll be a little bit more square as far as the pressure goes. You can see exactly which traces broke. That fucking sucks, man. The weird thing is, I mean, I don't know, I'm going to review the footage, but I honestly, there was no, oh shit, that was bad moment. You know what I mean? Maybe there was. Now that I think about it, maybe there was. But it's just so strange. It seems surreal. Because I didn't expect this. I mean, if I expected this, I wouldn't have embarked on this, right? Because I do use this projector every night. You know, like I watch TV on it every night. So it is something I really like having around. We'll see. It's going back together now. If this doesn't work, I'm going to stop trying, and I'm going to start trying to see if I can get this panel individually, despite what the service manual says. There is a part number on it, so I'll see if I can get it. I do remember the projection block being either like $600 or $1,200. Not worth it. Not worth it. Especially since who knows what else I may have damaged, right? The panel's $300 or less. I'll do it. It's more than $300. We'll see if we can eBay special it. You know, on the flip side, what I could do is part it out, because I know it's a working projector. I could part it out and recoup whatever I can out of it. Coronavirus and everything. It's not a good idea for me to be going out and shipping things. And I don't really want to ask family to do that, because I would not be pleased if one of my family gets sick and dies from corona. You know, maybe I can do a UPS pickup or something. There's ways. I'll figure something out. Where there's a will, there's a way. I honestly thought that would work, you know? I understand why it didn't, so I'm hoping that maybe this will apply pressure where it needs. The thing is, getting this on my ceiling, I can't do that with any normal projector. So the magic is in that lens. It's an ultra short throw lens, which gives me the ability to get the picture that I'm getting in the angles and the way that I'm getting it. So, like I said, 10 grand for this projector when it was new. And while I do have the lens still, that lens only works on this generation of projector. So I could keep my eyes peeled for a similar generation, but okay. Power on. Oh, I did not put the shutter back in. Main power on. It's doing its self-test. Self-test done. Power that on. I don't need to make it dark anymore, because I mean, dark is good for calibrating, but I'm not going to calibrate it now. It doesn't matter. I just want to see if there are stripes. And I'm willing to bet that there are going to be stripes still. Didn't expect this, eh? The previous repairs with Nabibi have been like positive and happy. Yeah, I can see the stripes already. Oof. Okay. And you know what I'll do? I'm going to reach out to people like Louis Rossman and Dave Jones and ask if there's a way that they know to fix situations like this. Hanging around. It's so weird. I honestly, I didn't even fucking see it coming, man. I didn't even fucking see it coming. I don't even know what I'm going to do for a TV in my room anymore. The thing I loved about this is it was under my bed, so it wasn't really in the way, and it's kind of like not obvious, apparent that I had a TV in my room, and then it was also, like I said, it was like multi-feet by multi-feet, like it was huge, you know? So, I mean, most people's projectors, when they get projection systems at home, you know, wall space, you can't have that much bare wall, because when the TV's off, when the projector's off, you know, you don't want the area to look like shit. And you're not going to leave it on all the time, so it's, you know, that's one of the catches with getting a projector in your house. The beauty about doing it on the ceiling is you don't give a shit, because no one looks at the ceiling. Ceilings are always bare. So that was the beauty of where this was. Ironically, it was a joke initially. Well, it wasn't a joke. It was something I'd always wanted to try, but I didn't think I was going to keep it. And granted, it's not ideal because this projector is way too bright. It's 6,000 lumens. Which your average residential projector is 3,000 lumens. And lumens, I believe, are not linear. So going from 1,000 lumens to 2,000 lumens isn't twice as many. Well, I guess it's twice. Yeah, it's twice as many. But then going from like 2,000 lumens to 4,000 lumens isn't twice as many. It's 4 times as many. You know what I mean? It's a logarithmic. It's exponential. It's not a linear scale. I believe. I don't know if that's actually correct. But anyways, projectors with this much light output are hard and expensive to come by, which is nice if it's in an office building and it's competing with lights from other rooms and whatnot. But totally useless in a bedroom at night in the dark. So this is the block that's bad. And I believe the way the LCD panels work is that they block light. So ironically, putting this in, not the fucking blue panel, will give me a proper image as far as that blue screen, that initial blue screen is concerned. But it will not give me an actual good picture because everything will have 100% blue saturation. It'll be blue washed. At least it'll be even. But it'll be blue washed. That sucks, man. That really, really, really sucks. I honestly didn't think this was going to happen. Not in 100 years. I honestly thought I was skilled enough to not make that kind of a mistake. I honestly thought I was skilled enough to not make that kind of mistake. And I guess it's one of those things, you can call it a learning experience. It's probably partially ADHD that caused it. And I say that because I do know better. And I think that's part of why it's I think that's part of why it's frustrating to me. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know how delicate they are. And I was trying to be delicate, but I guess I wasn't delicate enough, and I broke it anyways. So. You know, sometimes your best just isn't good enough. And it's not a great feeling when that happens. But today, my best wasn't good enough. C'est la vie. Did I? Wow, I left it on. Whoopsie. Compare part numbers from what's on here to what's on here, because I want to see if there's a yeah. There's definitely LCX and then a number, so there's definitely some consistency. We'll see. I'll contact my Panasonic shutter error. I forgot to hook the shutter up. I wonder if I can... Oh, there we go. Oh, that's interesting. It goes fully dark. So there's no blue, as opposed to more blue. That's interesting that it reads beyond it. Huh, I expected it to be the other way. Alright, let me calibrate this real quick, so I'll turn these lights off. I'll unplug this guy. Not that it matters. So you can see the blue is bleeding over the edge because of the fact that it acts as... Oh, there's a speck. You see that? So get the green as dim as possible. Let's go back to the blue. Get the blue as dim as possible. Get the red as dim as possible. Oh, wait a second. Oh no, that speck is definitely in the image. There's still green in it. I can get almost all of the... So what is this? This seems to be in the green channel, I guess? That's interesting. Let's go hit the menu button. Projector setup. So you see, there's more damage that's happened to it. So you can't. You see, this is the thing, right? 1565 was it? This is the catch. So like, it's hard. It's really fucking hard. Because you see, yeah. The colors are all off because I'm missing the blue channel. I wonder if that's something refracting by way of the... Oh wow. Why is the projection block loose? I thought I tightened it all up. And not to mention, I mean, clearly there's some more damage. So, yeah, it's precision shit, man. Wow. Yeah, no, I forgot to do the back ones entirely, I guess. Oh, I forgot to do all of them entirely. Wow, okay. Okay, I guess it's getting to that point of the night, eh? Well, I'm also frustrated. I'm tired, I'm frustrated. I'm disappointed. Just trying to make mistakes. Unrelated to my pre-existing mistakes. Let's get that projection block out of there. And let's see where that spec could be from. It's unlikely to be from the internal polarizer. So let me if I've damaged one of the other polarizers, that's it, I'm done. Like, that's it. There's no, I'm not fixing this projector, period. Because we're looking at, we're probably getting into thousands of dollars at that point. So, it won't have any, so there's no... Dust. Dust. It's just dust. Dust on the green polarizer. Not a big deal. Normally dropping that bracket isn't a big deal because the projection block, the optical block, is there to stop it from falling in front of the polarizer and scratching the polarizer. In this case it's not there, so I have to make sure it goes in without scratching anything, and it did. And then I can put this bad boy in here. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm gonna just do a quick blow. Yeah, so the mask, this metal sheet acts as a bit of a mask. I guess there's the backing as well that acts as a mask too, to get some of the runoff light. interesting though. It's very interesting. How long have I been streaming? 2.5 hours. Half an hour more, and then YouTube will split it into 2 videos. Okay, I got the projection block back in. I've got the shutter back in. Let's put the lens back on. Let's hit the power button. Let's turn the room lights off again. Crazy, man. I don't feel quite as bad about it now as I did before, when it first happened. I mean, I just crashed a car, you know what I mean? Panasonic in yellow, because red plus green equals yellow, and there's no blue. And there we go. Get that there. And get the red subtracted. As much as possible. Get some more green subtracted. There's still that spot. In the green. Oof, that's bright. I wonder if it's on the outside. So see how I went green? As soon as I took the outside polarizer out. And now I'm putting the outside polarizer back in. There goes black again, but there's still that hot spot. There's still that hot spot. And there's no translation of the hotspot. So if I turn this, it doesn't move. It's a greenish spot. Well, let's see if I move the red. Does it move with the red? No, it doesn't. It's a greenish spot. I wonder if it's on the red side. Well, there's only one way to find out. Oh. I can't take the red out without the shutter. I don't think it's going to like it if I unplug the shutter. Well, I would have expected it to complain, but it didn't actually complain that the shutter module is missing. Plug the shutter module back in though. Can probably pull it at some point. I do have to be careful. Like this, the ultraviolet light could potentially blind me. And yeah. Oh fuck. What time is it? It's 6 a.m. Jesus Christ. Okay, well, it's not on the red. Maybe it's on the blue. guess it could be on the blue. It's not on that. It's not on that one. Does this move it? No, it doesn't. What is it on? I wonder if that's some sort of a weird artifact. I wonder if that's some sort of a weird artifact I'm having removed. The blue panel. Only way to know for sure is to put the panel back in. But the reason I took the panel out is because I wanted it to have that information. Come on. Okay. So that way I can put it back in. And let's undo this. So I'm going to put it back in and see if the dot goes away. There's one speck, and changing the inside polarizers doesn't move it, and the inside polarizers, they rotate on an axis, and it's not on center. So you'd think that it would translate with that rotation, and it doesn't. On any of the polarizers, on any of the inside polarizers. The outside polarizers, all three of them I tried moving, it doesn't make a difference. So it could be a spec on the green LCD. There were some specs on the green polarizer, but I'm starting to think that it's light reflecting off of something that it shouldn't. Because of the fact that the blue LCD has been removed. So we'll see. I'll also inspect the green LCD and see if there's any evidence of dirt on it, because that could be the root problem. Come on. On every project, there's a point at which things stop getting better and start getting worse. And sometimes you can bring them back, and sometimes you don't. You can't. It's an analogy for people in a hospital, oddly enough. It's a good analogy for people in a hospital. And you have to decide, are things getting better or are things getting worse? And make your decisions based on that. And sometimes you just need to stop. You need to acknowledge you did your best. Your best wasn't good enough. And now you're making the situation worse. I might be getting to that point now. going to put this LCD panel back in. I'm going to check to see if that little dot is gone. Obviously, I'm going to have blue stripes. Actually, no, I won't have blue stripes because I'm not going to connect the ribbon cable. We'll see. We will see. These screws are soft as butter. This is exactly the right bit because it fits snugly, but the head is starting to strip. So I see why they say it's not repairable. But really that could be resolved with a screw kit, a screw replacement kit. With the panel. My eyes are tired, and I think it might be from the ultraviolet coming off this projector. These ribbon cables are getting easier and easier to go in. I'm not sure if it's practice from having removed them and having to reinsert them so many times, or if it's because they're just getting loose. I'm guessing they're getting a little loose. Roundabout. In and around the planet. Okay. Like 6 days. Actually, it's probably like 2 weeks worth of power on off cycles that I've put on this thing. And you can see the daylight seeping in. Gonna check my messages here. Holy shit, I got a lot of notifications. Jesus, what happened? Hey, Panasonic. Oh! Dot's gone. So it was something refracting off of something else, causing... No, I tell a lie, it's bad. So something else has gotten damaged. Alrighty. Well. Yeah. That is what it is. Oh. I kind of see what they mean by the projection block shouldn't be moved. So I do need to get a whole projection block because the green and the blue are shifted now. If you look at the edge. Well, there's the shutter. Alrighty. That's a shame. Well, I was hoping this would be educational and informational. And maybe it was. Maybe you know what not to do. By the way, the fact that I just took the cover off for the lens, for the bulb I should say, with the projector still on is actually really bad / dangerous. That's why I put it back on really quick, because I realized that was actually really dumb, because these bulbs do burst randomly and they do send lots of glass everywhere and it will shoot through you like a bullet. So you really do have to be mindful of that when you work on these projectors. So there is an explosion hazard. Alrighty. Let's turn the room lights back on here. That sucks a lot. I really liked having this projector. So, doing a quick lessons learned. I don't know, it's tough because I don't know. Just be more mindful of it. I don't know. I mean, I knew that they can break that way, and I knew that they're very fragile. But I didn't think I did anything enough to it to cause it to break. So, and not having anything in my mind of, oh, this is a time I pushed it harder. And I'm going to review the video footage and see, because maybe there was a time that I can see on the video where it's like, ooh, yeah, I'm being way too harsh on it. And that'll, serve as a teaching thing for me next time, because I wasn't conscious of it when I damaged it. So yeah. Holy crap! A lot of people have snapped me all of a sudden. Yeah. I can always part it out and sell it for parts, and I'll get them to price out an optical block. I'll get them to price it out. It doesn't harm, but no harm in knowing what it'll cost, right? So probably won't do it. Especially with that stain on it, I'd have to find where the source of that stain is from. But yeah. Alrighty, well, I'm going to kill the stream because I'm done, effectively. Not successfully, but the project has come to an end. An untimely end for an otherwise very nice projector. I'm going to rewatch footage, see where I screwed up, and try to learn for next time. It sucks, because I honestly, not for a second, did I think I was going to end up here again. When I first fixed it and I screwed up the polarizer, I was aware that it was uncharted territory. But I've been in here since then many times, and I felt comfortable. Having the service manual also helped me make me feel comfortable. But I guess not. So, it is what it is. Thank you for watching, if you did watch. And hopefully I'll have more successful projects for you in the future. Have a nice day, morning, 6 a.m. Started at 3. 2 hours, 55 minutes. Talk to you later.